It's been a busy few weeks. We've finished Accelerate. Thank you to everyone who joined. I hope that you found it beneficial and amazing. I think that we feel like a lot of great energy that came out of that. Snaps for that. Thank you to our speakers and our attendees, our sponsors, everybody involved. That was a big push. One of the main themes that came out of Accelerate was that it's the market we're in is a buyer's market. How are we getting buyers? How are y'all getting buyers? We're going to cover open houses today, but I wanted to kind of do an open forum today, make sure everybody's able to speak and participate, because I know that y'all have a lot of great tactics that y'all use. But yes, my first question is, who is actually getting buyers and how are you getting them right now?
And just to say, we are busy in this office. Y'all are busy in this office, which makes me busy in this office. Every day I am opening up and I have tons of compliances. Like this month for June, we actually took 50 listings, but with sales and leases, we had 131 close and 140 something under contract. That's huge. So that's y'all.
That's awesome. So how are y'all doing it? Anybody want to share how you're getting buyers right now? Philip is like, Tina, here.
I got it. You stay there. I'll run. I need to exercise. I'm not a good mic runner.
So this weekend, they had a parade of homes throughout the city, and I stayed Saturday and Sunday at this house in the parks in Belle Chase, which is not an area I generally go to. It's a new construction, but I got about 46 names of potential buyers.
Wow.
And I'm just going through that list, and it was something I kind of did that I thought was going to be lame. I think y'all all know that my house is on the market. It's actually under contract, but I was shocked at the amount of buyers. So I'm doing an open house this weekend again at my house just because I had a lot of buyers, and I don't think a lot of buyers right now aren't working with agents until they find what they're looking for. So, I mean, open houses are the way to go if you follow up with them.
We did not pay her to say that.
I have to double down on that. I think open houses, actually, my experience has been that with the NAR compliance changes that we had last year, that the buyer wants as little friction as possible to see a property. So they're not going to call, I'm finding they're not calling my signs to come see it, but they're not calling buyer agents to go see it, that they're waiting for the open house. With the open house, they can just walk in. Nobody's asking them to sign anything. There's no weird questions or awkwardness. They just walk right in. It's the only thing that we do that I can think of that is a map for buyers and sellers that come to you, that want to talk to you and see the space. This past weekend, held 4 open houses. I personally held 2 of them. But for all of our listings, we had a great turnout of people. And I would say 50%, I always ask, hey, how'd you hear about our open house? 50% of them consistently tell me that it was because of the signs. I saw your sign, that's why I came in.
And maybe they weren't planning on even attending, but they're going for a walk in the neighborhood, or and they.
It's on the market, but then I saw the sign, so I
Right.
came on in,
Right.
and then
So interesting. And what else is interesting, real quick, what Philip said, and I'm gonna give it to you, is that it seems from what he said that buyers are a little more educated on the situation that we are dealing with the buyer broker agreements. They are also maneuvering around them as possible.
And one more thing that, again, I did not think, I thought it was going to be a complete waste of time doing this weekend. But a lot of the people that I met were in the future thinking about new construction, already had their lots, but they all have houses and they're going to sell them. So I was like, look, I'm going to call you this week, get your email address, and set you up on a property, a drip that will every month tell you what your house is worth, what's happening. So it's just setting that. So I'm not going to see a lot of this till next year, but I hope to be around next year.
Yeah.
You're gonna go with Goofy.
Oh,
She's gonna be here.
oh, okay. She's
Any
not
other
allowed not to be here.
comments? Thank you for sharing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, I would be interested to know some of you guys' strategies around, like, planning the open house. Like, for instance, what I do is say I want to hold an open house in Gentilly. I look and see which day there are more open houses being held, like whether it's like Saturday, Sunday, or whatever day it is, and then I try to like piggyback sneakily, like around that. But I would like to know, what do other people do around planning their open houses? Yes.
Well, we're going to cover that. We didn't tag Guy on
perfect
either to
lead.
say that. But I think that's a really good question, though. Do you do the 11 to 1 that you see normally, or do you, kind of stagger it so that maybe you can get the people at the tail end that can't fit them all in at once? I don't know. Any thoughts?
I think 10 to 1.
10 to 1? And longer, too. You add an extra hour. Because it's, 11 to 1 is what we see typically. But that's a good question.
And depending on where, because I'll try to do 2 a day on the weekends, depending on the distance between the two. I'll do like 11 to 1, 2 to 4. But I find that I'm getting more people coming to the later times,
Okay.
maybe because we're in the summer, than I do the earlier times.
So Ken just said, Ken in the crowd, thank you. He does 2 a day, 11 to 1, and then he'll do a 2 to 4, and he's seeing more activity in the afternoon opens that he holds.
And I will say, I've gotten chided for holding open houses at like certain times. I think it's neighborhood specific. So like in like Bywald and Marigny, like I did one from like 1 o'clock, and they're like, "Why would you do it so late?" Or like parts of Metairie, they'd be like, "Why would you do it like
They
later?"
who?
Huh?
They who?
Agents and prospective buyers. Because there's like in this neighborhood,
Some nerve.
this is normally when open houses are held, and so
For broker tour?
for broker tour or open houses, yeah. And so I didn't know if that was like a thing.
Yes. Yeah, if you just Google Nomar broker tour dates or something to that effect, the official list that she's talking about. I don't know if y'all could hear MJ. The schedule is available, so maybe that's. But I don't know about open houses. It's strange.
MLS as a broker tour and as an open house. Maybe everybody does that, but that when I saw her do that, I was like, okay, I'll do that. So yesterday I had a broker tour, and I had one agent, but I had about 6 buyers come by.
Wow.
Yeah, and I did sell. I've only sold one house this way, but the house in the French Quarter I had on broker tour, and we sold it to the buyer that came to the broker tour. So.
Well, and I would imagine that's a motivated buyer. Yeah, that's a motivated buyer who's going to take time out of their workday.
Because we're doing it during the lunchtime, and the buyer doesn't see that it says a broker tour. The buyer sees that it says open house, and so they're like, "Oh, cool, open house, that's great." And so it's no different for them from their experience, right? And then I think Adam has always shared, like if you have a vacant listing, why are you not holding it
Yes,
open
yes, I'm
as
glad you
often
brought
as
that up.
possible, which is, worst case scenario, you have a quiet place to do business, right?
All right, cool.
Best case scenario is your one Burgundy that I still dream about. When you were like, they weren't even doing an open house. Philip was just there looking at the property and had the doors open and people just walked in. Like there was no sign or anything. So yeah, I was like, that would be my office every day, all day.
Cool. All right. Well, I wanted to, James. Hey, James, what's up?
Good morning. And Guyon, when you're going live, just in general with your open house, when you're going live, you really should be utilizing the thing on the MLS with reverse prospecting and directly emailing those agents from there, because your house is hitting criteria of their buyers. So kind of set it up as a special invitation to them, and it gives you enough list of people to follow up with if they don't make it to the open house.
Definitely. Does everyone know about reverse prospecting, how to do that in MLS? That would be for another day, but that's really,
Thank you.
That's really a great tool, tip, trick. Thank you, James. If you need help with that, I can show you how. But we have to cover some playbooks. All of these playbooks are available to you, years and years worth of epic strategies for how to do these things in our business. So I really like Steve's. This is more my style. The one next is a little more intense, but if you go through his process, this isn't listing it in MLS on Friday to be open the following day and hoping that that works out, okay? This is all week that he's working on it. So he's not doing any home. He's doing newly listed. He's doing ones with price reductions, like something that will be exciting for someone to see because something has changed, something's new and different. So that's early in the week. And then he's lead generating, he's marketing, he's doing a lot of door knocking, inviting the neighbors to come in for a sneak peek, making them feel special, VIP, exclusive. And then he puts out 20 to 40 signs. Mm-hmm. If you have ever rented our open house kit and you are working with the 12 signs, that is an effort. You have to remember where you put them. You have to go back and get them. This is a big haul. I take a picture too, and then I still can't find it. But 20 to 40 signs, that's incredible. Like no one would be able to miss this. It is maybe crazy, but I think it works, Ken. So he gets there an hour early. I know that we all have stories. You show up, the tenant's there. You show up, the electricity has been turned off. Something's happened with the house, and instead of 20 minutes to pivot and try and figure it out, you have some time. Get there early. Get there so that you can have 10 minutes to yourself where it's quiet and you have a candle burning and you're not in a, scramble as the first person walks in, turning lights on.
The alarm code that they just
The alarm code, exactly.
Look
Give yourself time to get
professional.
there early. Be professional. Yeah. And then there's a whole follow-up process. So there's the QR code. I would encourage you to check this out. It'll be in your post-meeting resources email. So this one's way more intense. And to me, this is a team a team that all they do is open houses, and that's how they're getting their business going. Monday, they're securing food trucks. Tuesday, they're doing videos. They're confirming food trucks. They have a list of people to call. They're doing such a blend of door knocking, flyers, food, video, social media. It's this massive blend of all the things that we learned in Accelerate. And they get 30 more deals a year from this just through open houses. So it's pretty intense, but
So if we
this
have
was your
a
approach.
few agents who have houses in the same area, how cool would that be to have like a group open house, get a food truck to come, and what you do is everyone who comes through your open house, you just kind of make a deal with the food truck to give them a coupon for the food trucks or something as easy as that could bring a huge amount of traffic.
Yeah, definitely. And I wonder how they do the food trucks exactly. I would imagine if you told people, if you told the company, we have 50 people coming through this street, would you just come park and we don't pay you anything, but you'll get a lot of business out of it? I don't see why that wouldn't work.
Not to mention they're going to buy beyond what's on that little ticket. You know what I'm saying?
There's a coupon.
One coupon on it.
Oh yeah, people will buy beyond that. Absolutely.
Can you email your database and command like open out? Like that title?
I'm so glad that you asked, Guyon. We're going to get to that next. I know. Guyon was not paid to make these comments, but it's just like a natural part of this process, right? Again, you're not just going to post this on a Friday or a Thursday. There's a lot of work that should go into these to make it worth your while. So this playbook is based off of a Sunday open house. So Saturday, this is something Philip and I have sort of talked about. He creates a success kit. And this is, it's a little sort of what we talked about, but you have toilet paper, you have, batteries, light bulbs, trash bags. So you have a kit for your open houses. You're not just showing up. You have a binder with the property disclosures. You have attachments. You have a flyer that doesn't have the price on it because if it gets, reduced, then you're going to have to reprint all your flyers. But this is a lot. I would definitely encourage you to go into this. I'm not going to read it to you line by line, but there's some really great information in here.
A suggestion.
Yes.
There was a house for sale in my neighborhood, and they set up a lemonade stand
Yeah.
in the front yard, and there were people parked down the side street. So one idea.
Cute idea. Cookies and lemonade. It doesn't have to be this whole production like who even was this? Tracy. Doesn't have to be a whole production, but you can even pick ideas from this and think, oh, that's actually pretty smart. That would work for me. And lemonade stand, how cute is that? So we talk about this open house kit. Do y'all ever use this kit? Show of hands. Is anybody here using it? You have your own. That's huge. I'm glad you brought that up. Eventually, you really should be investing in your own signage because we don't have all the dots available. Our signs, maybe you can't rent the kit because, someone else beat you to it, that kind of thing. But this is a great starting point. And I have also had open houses where nobody showed up, which is very sad. But then they saw my signs, and they were just walking the neighborhood, and they came right in. Something else I would add to this for your own little success kit would be a little door hanger that says, come on in. I find that people are really hesitant to just walk in. And I'm going to keep the door closed because it's hot as blazes outside. But there's a little picture of me, and it says, come on in. And so they can feel a little more comfortable opening the door to a home. Even though I have the signs and everything, I think that just makes people more comfortable. I would say the biggest part of this is the flag. This is our super heavy duty flag.
What did you call me?
You can rent this. You can rent this by itself. This one is a different quality from the ones in the other kit. It's just, I don't know, it's heavier duty. So
Does it fit in your car?
well, you take it apart. Yeah, you take it apart. It doesn't travel this way, but nobody can miss this. Nobody can miss this. So,
How does it hold up in the wind? I just have to ask.
so this one's a little trickier if it's really windy. I've used bricks before to hold it down. The other flags from the kit stake in. But yeah, this is a great, and again, get there early because you might need a little time to set this up. It does take a little time, but this is great for visibility. You can rent it by itself. And of course, you don't have to do all of this by yourself. We have fabulous sponsors who want to help you and want to grow their business as well. So this is a chance for your preferred vendors to get their name out there and get their marketing materials. I have a huge packet for my listing from John that I put out for all of my open houses. And then Oak Title has done a huge push with their open house kits. They're doing collaborative posts for Broker Tour, and they'll market for you. So it doesn't have to be these two only, but there's a lot of options to get the word out, because again, it's just the repetition of Monday, get the word out. Tuesday, get the word out. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day in the week is about marketing this event. So I crowdsourced a few tactics from some of you. I really asked these agents, what is something that you couldn't Google for how to hold a proper open house? Things that you've learned along the way that wouldn't be just available without your experience, right? So one agent mentioned that they don't serve alcohol at the open house. I love to serve mimosas, but this kind of gave me pause. I had to think about it. Why would that be? And if someone is overserved, or maybe they're on medication and you don't know that, they have one mimosa. Just something to consider next time you approach your open house. I think it's fun. I think it's fancy, but it could go wrong. So just consider that. Yep. And then the importance of signage, directionals. Set them up the day before, remove them immediately after. There's nothing worse than somebody showing up at the house, or actually as a consumer, thinking that it's happening. You get there and it's closed up. It's not happening anymore. So get those 12 directionals out and away before people start showing up late. Invest in your own signage. Have fun. I like to play music, and the music that has the best feedback for me is ABBA radio. People love that. And then I'm having fun, and that's part of it too. You don't want it to be this kind of sterile environment. You want people to feel welcome and invited into the space. And that's where the door hanger comes in as well. So here's a comment. Luxury opens. So a luxury open would be really good for your content, but make sure that it's had a price reduction or it's a new listing. That's kind of a double whammy. You can hold a beautiful open. You could get some really great buyers who are actually looking at that price point, but you can also get a little social media content out of it. But their approach is, I really prefer the middle tier price point homes because I feel like I'm going to get more foot traffic that way. It's a more realistic price point to have actual buyers come through. This is a really interesting one. It might be controversial, but I kind of love it. This agent said, if it's my own listing and my clients are so firm on the price, I won't hold it open again until they consider we really need a new price. Yeah, we need a price reduction because nobody's going to come to this. I keep holding it open at this price point. Clearly no one wants to see it at that price point. We're going to do something different, and then I'll hold it for you, and I'm happy to do that. That would be some tough love.
No, I feel like that's different than what was said before. So if you're holding it open to generate business on the buyer side, does it matter if you have a price reduction on the listing itself?
I think it matters both ways, yeah. If you don't have any listings and you are holding an open to get buyers, it should be a fresh listing. But this agent said for their own listing, I got all these listings. I'm trying to, prioritize business. If you're not serious about a price reduction, I'm really sorry, but I just can't hold it open for you every single weekend.
Oh, that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That happened this weekend to me. I think it was too many open houses following each other, and because I did the same amount of energy and work on it, and I had no show-ups on Sunday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think because we're sitting there, and I've had to talk to the owner that something's going to have to shift to bring people in the door.
Yes.
That's the start. But yeah, keep hitting a dead horse is not going to get either way buyers or other people into the door. It's got to be something fresh and new, like you said.
Yeah. Ken has a comment.
Yeah, so one thing I would mention, especially when it comes to some of the luxury properties, a lot of times when I'm holding them open, I'll get people that come in and be like, oh, this is a beautiful house, but, I can't afford this. And I said, well, what price range would you be looking at? And you'd be surprised how many people aren't working with an agent or thinking about moving or buying within the next few months. And yeah, it might only be a $300,000 or $400,000 house, but it's, you're getting a client out of it.
Awesome.
Just this past week, I did one, and I had probably 12 people come through. A few of them seemed to be scam artists, but there was some potential clients that I met and got their information from. So, sometimes that's a lure.
That's huge. You're right. Thank you for mentioning that. That is absolutely true. And plus, if they see your sign, but they can't afford $1 million home and they walk in, well, you still capture that lead. Absolutely. Okay.
Can I say another comment?
Yes. Someone said no, James. Just kidding. Go ahead. Please.
Something that I learned from Philip this week, which, it's there, but you don't always think about it, is utilizing AI. So if you're uncomfortable about a property or don't know a lot about the area, you can utilize your AI to pull your competition out and kind of give you a bullet point of what the differences are, what's better or what's not. And also another thing for doing these open houses, if you want to do a direct email or message to an agent that's prospering in that area, you can just ask AI, who are the top sellers in Bayou St. John? Who are the top sellers in this thing? And then you've got a list of private emails you can send for either sending
awesome.
a private
Yeah.
showing or a small intimate open house kind of thing.
That's awesome. Well, the other thing,
AI really changing.
yeah. The other thing, James, is that you have to know the listing that you're holding open. You can't expect to just show up because people are going to ask you what the countertops are made of, how tall the ceilings are. They're going to ask you all those things, and it might not seem important because it's like, oh, they can read my flyer, but they're going to have specific questions. So study up the property before you go.
One quick comment, especially if you're holding someone else's house open. One thing I do the day before is I go through the disclosures just to familiarize myself with how old the roof is.
Yes,
if there's anything that's been
absolutely.
changed out, even though it's not your listing, you want to come across as knowledgeable that you know the property. They don't know it's not your listing
Yeah.
because all your paraphernalia's got your stuff on it.
Well, it's just
Paraphernalia.
like
You're
when you have a
marketing.
client who wants to go look at a house, your job is to find out everything you can about that house so you are the knowledgeable one to your clients.
You are not just a warm body in that room. Remember that. Okay. So that was a perfect transition about, James mentioned emails. Guyon asked about emails. This is a smart plan that I use. It's a 5-touch email smart plan. I think I have Twilio text in there too. But it stems off of it stems off of an ad that I have running in Facebook. And so the first email is, thank you for your interest. You're in luck because I'm holding an open house. Will I see you there? And something very valuable I learned from Philip Eubank is that you end communications with a question. It's never, hope to see you there. It's, are you going to be there? Will I get to meet you then? And then they feel a little more obligated to respond. And so maybe a day or two goes by. Are you just looking for fun? Are you in the market? Hope to see you there. And that I did not ask a question. They're not going to respond to that. And it goes on. Let me know if you're looking to buy. Hope to see you at my open house. And it's a very simple email. This is done in Command. This is a design template. There's links they can click through, and it's a smart plan that's happening that, once they click my ad, it's just going off on its own. Will I see you there? Hope so. And then at the end, usually I have something that says, in case you missed it, here's a video walkthrough, or we can schedule a private viewing, or that kind of thing. So it's not just the one email blast the day before, or, even that Monday. It's the constant communication, stay top of mind, and invite people to your event. Is anybody using smart plans for their open house alerts?
So you pick one of your listings, and I don't understand how it works. I'm sorry.
That's okay. This started from a paid ad. So they click on my ad.
So yeah, the Facebook lead.
And I say,
yeah.
thank you for your interest.
Okay. So
This is just one tactic that
Oh.
I've used, but you
I
could
get
go
it.
nuts with it. I just want to demonstrate that it's not the one email. I'm sending 5, probably 4 between the open house even happens, and then 1 after. In case you missed it, wish I'd seen you there. I can still meet up with you. That's no problem.
So from your Facebook lead, then it goes into this
The
smart
drip.
plan.
Yep. The way that it's all set up.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
it takes some work on the front end. But once you have this set up, this smart plan, you can duplicate it and just change the property address
there.
details, the link, and the photo, and you can reuse it over and over again with new details. Guyon's mind is blown. Anybody have questions?
Guyon was making an appointment with you.
And your mind should have been blown 6 years ago when this came out.
Any questions? Okay.